Traders, welcome to the live stream. How the devil are you? Hope you're not too traumatized by the US elections. Yeah, Trump is in power, but we know this by now, right? What we actually want, guys, is just things to settle and we can carry on with our trading. But it feels like a little bit back to normal today, and things are less volatile, right? So all good from that point of view. What I haven't done, guys, which is very bad of me, is this. I must bring up my epic pen. How ill prepared of me. But anyway, guys, yeah, it feels like the markets are sort of, back to normal now. The volatility's left a little bit, but as I mentioned in the analysis vid this morning, guys, indices are flying on the back of Trump. He's talked about cutting corporate tax. The flight to safety pairs have taken a bit of a beating. US dollar strength, we shall see, because we got the Fed later on. And most immediately, we must look at pound. Right? Because pound right now, we have just had the interest rate decision. All right. And everything, guys, is as expected. Okay. So if we just look at this for a second, like if we look at pound US dollar, seeing a bit of pound strength, but that's, a muted response, as a lot of these interest rates are, right? They're not. They can be big market movers if it's a miss on expectation, right? But this is really, as expected. Let's have a look at pound CAD. Okay, so some pound strength, pound Swiss franc. Okay, pound yen. Yeah, so some pound strength coming into the market off the back of this news, guys. So this is good for me. I have a variable rate mortgage back in the UK, so this is good. Right, so this means this is I pay less for my mortgage. There you go. Wonderful news. Well done, Bank of England. Keep it up. Keep it coming lower. But again, lower interest rates, that's good for the indices as well. So, this could be a bit of a perfect storm for the indices, guys, like globally, right? So, yeah, so that news has literally just come out. We also have, later on, guys, we've got, we have important news also. We've got this initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims coming out of the US. And then we have the big daddy or the big mummy, not to be sexist, right? Big daddy or big mummy news coming out at 7 o'clock UK time, all right, which is 11 p.m. out here. So I won't be about for this, guys. I'll be, I'm normally in bed by about 10 o'clock these days, snoring, maybe a bit of dribble with my mouth open. What a beautiful picture. So yeah, that's where we are, guys. Pound, not a massive reaction, but pound strength. But yeah, the market's waiting for this one, guys. So it'll be really interesting to see the impact that this has on the indices as well, right? Because the indices are flying. Okay, we're seeing some real pound strength off the back of that. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. Okay, take it back. We're having quite a strong reaction with the pound here, guys. All right. So yeah, there you go. What else are we going to do today? So yeah, we got that news coming out and we've had the news for later on. We're also going to take all of your questions, guys. Of course we are. That's why you're here. It's not to see my ugly face. Yeah, it's to get some questions answered about trading. So we'll do exactly that, guys. Ask as many questions as you like about trading, right? I'm with you for about 40 minutes. So just pick my brain. It won't take long. Also, guys, I'm going to show you a trade that I'm currently in. I've taken a little bit of profit off just because we have got some big news later. So I'll share that trade with you right now as well. And that is the plan of attack. We've also got a poll. We always have a question or a poll from our editor. I haven't even looked at it myself. How are you feeling after Trump's win? Are you trading? If so, what? How am I feeling after Trump's win? So that's a good question, Mr. Editor. Crazy guy, the editor. I am how am I feeling? It's very good. No one's actually asked me. So the thing I worry about with Trump, right? I like the fact that he's pro-business, and he does what he says he'll do. And if you gave him a job, you'd rely on him to get it done. And he's not one for dilly-daddling about, waiting for everyone to agree. He'll just go off and do it, right or wrong. But I do admire that about him. Okay, so many politicians, they want to check with everyone, get loads of advice. Are we doing the right thing? He's like, right, we're going to do this. Let's do it. So I admire that, but I'm sure some of the things he actually goes and does may be a little bit crazy. We'll see. I also like the fact that he's got Elon Musk in his camp. Right. And, and he's got Elon Musk in to what was sort of the phrase they used to sort of stop government wastage, whatever that meant. I'm sure, like with all civil servants, I'm sure there's millions of dollars being wasted with crappy processes, too many employees doing very little. That's the impression I get with civil servants and government-run entities, right? So he's got Elon Musk in to sort of clear them up, and make them more productive. And if you give Elon Musk, you give him anything to do, he'll do it. We're like, Elon, we want a rocket that goes into space, but then the rockets come off and actually land back standing upright. Elon's like, yeah, no problem, we'll get that done. you got to admire him as well. These guys, like them or loathe them, you've got to admire, what they're good at, right? So I can't help think that Elon will do some good things, right? And just with his very future thinking, mechanical mindset that he has, right? That's going to do some good, I'm sure. So that's how I feel about Trump. I am very concerned about global warming. Right? That's the only thing. Because if you are very pro-business, then generally it's almost like the opposite to being pro-climate change. It's almost like the two don't marry together. Maybe that's quite a short-sighted view of it. But, if you're pro-business and you're building things, making things, manufacturing, right? You can't help but think fossil fuels are, burning like the clappers. So I do worry about that. So yeah, and I'm really interested to see how he handles all the conflicts at the moment, like the Middle East, Ukraine, so it'll be interesting to say the least. So there you go, editor. Good question. That's how I feel about old Orange Man. Right, guys, let's see who's in the house. Brett, afternoon. Michael, Manwi Phoname. I'm sure I've pronounced that beautifully. Colin, Tom, thoughts on US dollar, Japanese yen? Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll look at that, Colin, very shortly. I like US dollar yen buys. Rich Paul, sup Tom. Okay, so you got a money risk management question. We'll answer that as well. Okay, Brett makes a good point here. Trump is a businessman first. Running a country is like running a business, in my opinion. Yeah, totally agree. And I just consider countries as businesses. Right, they've all got accounts, right? They're all about profit and loss, although all of them lose money and are heavily in debt, But yeah, I consider countries businesses, right? People market their country. They're like, come visit, Azerbaijan, or set up your business in, Uzbekistan. right? You know, you're constantly wanting people to come to your country and invest like you would a company, right? If you're Coca-Cola, you want people to come to your country, Coca-Cola, and buy things, right? So yeah, you know, you can't help but think the US economy will thrive off the back of that. However, at what cost again, you know, with global warming? Rich Paul is in US dollar, Japanese yen. I'm assuming you're buying it, Rich Paul. Okay, and we've got a question here from Michael. I couldn't quite see it, Michael, but we'll get to that as well. All right, guys. So, yo, hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. Right, I'm going to show you my Euro Swiss franc trade that I am in. All right, guys. So, I like Euro Swiss franc buys. It was one of my trade ideas from my analysis vid this morning. It was like crappy, puppy, bad, horrible, disgusting price action, and then bang, we're in an uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows, right? This low held. And look at that wick, right? It's just closed back into this level. And we've got moving average 20, and we've got this level of support here. And again, look at the reaction we've got so far, right? It was a really nice level to buy from. If we drop down to the H4, okay, this is more of a H1 trade, to be quite honest with you, right? And, you know, I was just looking for a break of this grey zone. And H1 was kind of doing this, but then we got the break, right? It broke this level through here, okay, with this nice big bullish green candle. And then we got a retrace into this grey zone, right? And I just entered. I literally entered in here at 9416. Right, and I've taken price back up to here. I've taken 50% profit, okay, and I've let 50% run. My pen has got thicker somehow. How has that happened? All right, and I'm letting 50% run, guys. So that's where I am with Euro Swiss franc. Took some profit. We're in profit on the remainder of the trade, you know, and I think potentially we could take price, you know, all the way back up to these highs here. So we shall see, you know, and obviously the Fed interest rate may have a big, you know, decision, you know, a big influencing factor on this pair. And also, guys, what, you know, I knew the H4 candle was going to look like this, but the body of this candle, you know, just about broke this high. I know it didn't break this high, but I was still willing to take this buy trade. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. I'm already, you know, nicely in profit. And that was the only trade we took today. So yeah, let's answer a few of your questions now. Before I do, guys, if you enjoyed the live stream, enjoyed my analysis, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. While you do that, I'm going to have a quick drink. Also, guys, right now, those traders out there, I know a lot of you are looking for funding, looking to increase capital. Then look no further than Blueberry funded above my head. Right now, guys, you can get funding of up to $400,000. And right now, they are giving you 25% off any funded challenge you buy if you use simply 25 at checkout, guys. You won't see this 25% off anywhere else. It's exclusive for us. And again, we're not sure how long this will last, guys. So take advantage. If you're looking for some funding, look no further. Check out Blueberry funded above. Right, guys, what are we looking at? Sorry, guys, I've missed some other people here. Colin, hi, how are you? McFlave, Ravi, hi, guys, hi. So, Colin, US dollar, Japanese yen. Now, look at that, right? So, first of all, daily, we want to buy it, right? You know, we're like, you know, wait for the US elections and then bang, right? As we said, the indices are flying, which means the flight to safety pairs like yen are weakening, right? And as a result, we had this nice big bullish candle that broke these highs, right? Bouncing off the moving average 20. And then, guys, if we drop down to the H4, I mean, you know, I had my two levels mapped out, right? Here and here, okay? And look at the reaction we've had here. Normally, I would get in on this trade, right? I was even talking about it in the VIP Trading Academy, okay? If you're interested in that, guys, we've got some great promotions there too. So, yeah, I was talking about this trade. Like, I wanted to buy from this level, okay, with a view to taking price potentially all the way back up here, because it's a really nice level. What was once resistance becomes support, right? I would have built this trade. This would have been my first entry. If it carried on down, I would have placed another entry, okay? But as it stands, look, it just looks like a really nice entry for buying. And again, normally I would, but there's a very big but. Okay, I was going to say a very crude, inappropriate joke. There's a very big but, and the big but is the Fed, right? As I pointed out earlier on, guys, I know we've got many hours till this interest rate comes out, right? But, you know, I'm not too quick to jump into US dollar trades today. You know, we've just had the US elections, right? Trump's, you know, hasn't even sat his orange bum in the, you know, Oval Office chair yet. And also we've got the Fed interest rate decision. So I would say not a good time to get into US dollar pairs. Tomorrow, a great time, right? But right now, guys, I would just wait to see what that Fed interest rate decision does as well. If the Fed interest rate decision gives me a pullback down to here, for example, then I have got a decision to make. It may become such a nice deep retrace that it's almost, you know, it's just such an appealing trade, right? It's part of my strategy. I want to buy US dollar yen. I've got such a deep retrace, and I'll be trading from such a beautiful, wonderful area of value. Right? I can even put my stop down here, target back up here. So, you know, we have a decision to make then. But like I said, guys, it will be at 11 o'clock and it'll be past my bedtime unless I go night clubbing. Then who knows when I go to bed. Yeah, and as with regards to what the Fed's going to do, who knows, right? You might as well flip a coin, right? When the Fed comes out, is the US dollar going to increase in value? Is it going to decrease? We don't have a crystal ball. We just wait for the reaction and then we trade, guys, all right? Right, what else are we looking at? So Rich Paul's got a money and risk management question here. What's up, Tom? Does money you risk depend on the pips in Forex? Lot size is tricky to me. So Rich Paul, we have, I'm sure we've put it on YouTube, right? It was a tutorial in the VIP Trading Academy exactly on this point, right? But yeah, your entire lot size of any trade, like the amount you trade, is all dependent on the pip size. So what you need to take into account is the pip size, the currency you trade, your risk parameters, and the pair you're going to trade. If you have all that data, there's lots of lot size calculators out there. So Rich Paul, just type in the internet, lot size calculator, right? And then fill in all the boxes, and you will, it will tell you exactly what your lot size should be. All right. So yeah, check that out. What else are we looking at? So Michael, I heard you said that a year ago on Trading Nuts, this is how I found your channel. You are okay. Okay, so Michael, okay, so I've been following me since Trading Nut. This is how I found your channel. You're not ugly. Thank you, Michael. And I follow you from there up to now. You're like the teacher. Thank you very much, Michael. Very nice words. Yeah, I'm glad I have the time to pass on these things, right? And I enjoy doing it. And, I always joke I'll never forgive the editor for making me do a YouTube channel, right? But ever since I've done it, it's been nothing but fun and enjoyed it. And, probably become a better trader myself as a result of it, right? Because I have so many, I not so many, but I have people looking at my trade ideas, right? I've got to make sure my trade ideas are tip top A1 good trades. There's a responsibility there. So yeah, it's made me more aware of that responsibility and a better trader as a result, right? So yeah, it's sort of a win-win for everyone, right? What else we got here? So Gabby G, hey Tom, how about pound yen? I know the Bank of England decision there, but still room to daily. All right, so yeah, we've just had pound interest rate decision come out, and we were seeing pound strength. Okay, it's sort of waned a little bit, this pound strength. And you're looking to, are you looking to buy it? Okay, room to the daily. So you're looking to buy it. So let's do a top-down approach, right? And this is what I recommend all of you do every single day with every single pair. It's time-consuming, but like anything that's hard work, it's worth doing. And it will get you in very good, disciplined mindset, right? This is what you should do every morning, right? You come in, okay? You wipe the sleep from your eyes, yeah? Okay, you have your coffee so your brain starts kicking in, and you have your porridge and bananas. Okay, this is a must. You all have to do this. I'm only joking. Other breakfasts are available. I started enjoying like a probiotic yogurt with fruit has become my very poncy breakfast as well. Okay, but have a healthy breakfast is my point. Don't go to Mackie D's. Sorry, Mackie D's, right? Once you've had your breakfast, open your charts, right? And just go through each one of them, right? We've got Aussie dollar CAD, Aussie dollar Swiss franc, Aussie dollar yen. I go through all 28 currency pairs every single morning, and then I share my trade ideas. Having said that, did I share my trade ideas today? I don't think I did. Okay, I will need to do that. What are we looking at, guys? So pound yen. And then once you look at all 28 currency pairs, we go down, you find your way to pound yen. And for each one, I start on the day chart, right? And then I ask myself, okay, what's the trend, right? So we're in an uptrend. Okay, and we had a nice trend, first of all, right? We're in an uptrend. Then I asked myself, the candle, what does the candle look like, right? We've got a bullish candle. Then I asked myself, where's the next piece of support or resistance? And this really here is the last daily piece of resistance, right? And then I asked myself, is there room to move into? And the answer is no, right? And as soon as I see that, I am like, no trade. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at pound New Zealand dollar. And it's as simple as that, guys. But let's carry this idea on it. If it doesn't look good on the day chart, I do not trade it, right? As simple as that. But I will also look at the weekly chart. And if you look at the weekly chart, guys, right, there is an area through here where price has been reacting as well, right? And I wouldn't say this is a super bearish candle, but there is something here, okay, in terms of support and resistance, or resistance in this case. So I'm still not overly confident on buying this pair on the weekly, right? And then if we even go to the monthly, I'll take a quick look at that sometimes. The monthly suggests, right, that we can potentially make it back up to here, right? But the weekly isn't telling me to buy. The daily is telling me there's no room here. So I just stay out, right? I'm not interested in trading that pair. Then I've got 27 other pairs, gold, silver, indices, oil to choose from. So I will just ignore pound, British pound, yen for the day and reassess it the next day, right? So yeah, that's how I will roll. What else are we looking at? Ravi, hi Tom. Would you say that the US dollar is weak today? It's difficult to make an assessment until the day finishes, right? And that's not a cop out of an answer, right? Because if I look at some US dollar pairs, like Euro US dollar, then all we can do is make decisions on what we see, right? And Euro US dollar, this would tell us there's US dollar strength in the market, right? If we go to pound US dollar, it would tell us there's US dollar strength in the market, from yesterday's candle. If we looked at Aussie dollar US dollar, this perhaps wouldn't tell us that there is US dollar strength in the market. In fact, the opposite, right? I think this could be a really nice buy trade if we break this level. And also, I'd have a look at the dollar index, of course, right? And this would suggest there is dollar strength, right? So in answer to your question, I would say no, the dollar is strong. Okay. Now, as the day unravels, if we look at H4, we're clearly seeing a bit of US dollar weakness thus far, right? But is the dollar just coming down, retracing to potentially a nice level like this for a move back up? I would say that's more likely because of the day chart, because of that daily candle, right? If we look, again, let's look at one we looked at earlier, right? If we look at Euro US dollar, okay. If we look at the H4, yes, we've had some, dollar weakness come into the market, but overall the dollar is still strong, right? And could it just be gearing up for another move down? Now, obviously, this will all be distorted, right, when the Fed interest rate comes out, okay? It could go pew, or it could go pew, right? I used to do sound effects in Hollywood. But you know what I mean? It's the Fed today, it almost doesn't matter. To be quite frank, it doesn't matter what the US dollar is doing now, right? But a good question, Ravi, right? And also, I'm going to consider other factors like this. If we go to the weekly chart, right, this is a very nice support zone. This is a very nice support zone, yeah? On the weekly, this would suggest potentially some dollar weakness, right? If we look at another one, if we look at US dollar CAD, we're at a weekly level, right? So you need to be aware of this as well. Are we seeing the start of a nice bearish reaction here? Maybe. So all in all, the US dollar is telling me just to stay away, right? Because I'm seeing US dollar strength, but the strength is all leading to potentially resistance, right? Or potentially support levels, right? So this dollar strength could quickly be eradicated. Let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at US dollar Swiss franc, right? Now, that is suggesting US dollar strength still, right? But it'll be very interesting to see how this weekly candle finishes. This is the last, there's an interesting level through here, resistance, support, resistance. It'll be interesting to see how this weekly candle finishes. So yeah, just leave the dollar alone, right? You could even say leave the dollar alone this week, right? You could. We've got the Fed today. It's Friday tomorrow. Let the market absorb the US elections, okay, and Trump being president, and absorb the Fed interest rate decision. Then Monday, come back, start afresh, look at US dollar then. That would be my advice with the US dollar, okay? Having said that, I did like New Zealand US dollar sells today. But then again, look what's happening to them. I trade what I see, and this is US dollar strength. We were looking to take it down to here, but I got out the trade early, because of H4 break, right? Price was coming down. I was in this trade, but then as soon as we broke this level here, I got out of the trade. Right, I'm no longer in this trade. My stop originally was up here. I just got out here for a small loss. So, and fully aware of the Fed coming out later. So you really, I'm all about keeping trading simple. But what I've just explained of all these different factors coming into my decision making, that isn't simple, right? But the simplicity of price action is what drives everything, right? So that's what guides me. And that's what told me to get out of this trade, right? We're in a downtrend, right? Price action looking good. Bang. Price action looking bad for sales. Get out. Simple as that. I just let that guide me. All right. So yeah, I hope that helps, Ravi. Okay, I've just realized your name, man with no name. Bear with me. I was calling you man with the non-name. I thought it was sort of an unusual name, but man with no name. Okay, I'm glad I got that before I embarrass myself further. All right, so let's take a look at oil. Right, and let's do this one together. Right. Let's get everyone involved. I want to hear your opinion, and we're going to look at each time frame. We're going to look at the weekly time frame, and then we're going to look at the daily time frame. So just looking at the weekly time frame, the chart I am looking at right now. I mean, this is West Texan, but it could be Brent crude. They're very similar charts, right? Almost identical, apart from slight deviation in price, right? So with this chart on the weekly, right, you've got three options, as you always have with trading. Would you buy, sell, or stay out of this market, guys? So everyone right now, get involved. What would you do? Buy, sell, or stay out of this market? Don't be shy, guys. Get involved. I'm going to have a drink while you think about your answer. And yes, Ravi. So we need to see if there's a structure break to determine if there's a trend change. Yes. Trend is all about breaking highs and lows, and therefore structure. Right, man with no name would sell on the weekly. Brett would stay out. Colin would stay out. Ravis's indecision, so would stay out. Godwin, how are you, Godwin? Good to see you here. Godwin would buy. Michael Mulwa would stay out. Michael would sell. Okay, any more for any more? Anyone else want to get involved? Give us your ideas. Rich Paul would stay out. Sammy would stay out. Okay, so the majority is stay out. We've got a buy, we've got a couple of sells, but the majority is stay out of the market, right? Now, let's look at what decides this, okay? So first and foremost, we know this is a super duper important piece of support, right? It has been going, I mean, we can even draw it across here, really, right? You've even got it over here, okay? But let's just look more recently. This has been going since March 23, okay? The dinosaurs were around then, right? That's how long it's been going. Then they were hit by a big meteorite and the world recovered. And a year later, we're all okay. Sorry, I just talking gibberish there. So it's a super duper important support level, right? And price has yet to break it for about 18 months, right? Now, that's important. Also, structure is important, right? And this, I would say, is doing this, right? So it's in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, okay? So we're in a downtrend, but ever since it's hit this piece of support, it has stopped making lower lows, okay? It has, fact. Right? It hasn't made any lower lows. So that suggests that at this level, sellers are giving up and buyers are coming back in. Look, buyers come in, buyers come in, buyers are coming in, right? So you've got this buying pressure from this level. And then this is also a nice weekly resistance level. So you've got these weekly sellers selling. So what oil finds itself is between a rock, this is the rock, and a hard place, that's the hard place. And what you may well find is price just does this until some fundamental news kicks in, maybe something to do with, oil embargoes or the war in the Middle East, something globally goes on and we might get a break out of here or a break down lower, right? We don't know. Either could happen. But that's what I would want to see. Okay. So for that reason, I understand sells, right? Selling back down to here, but there's too much buying pressure here. So I would actually stay out of this market. Okay, on the weekly chart. But let's keep analyzing, right? You need to do this, guys. You need to look at these time frames to decide. So now let's look at the daily. Okay, so same question, right? On the daily, guys. Now the daily chart only. Would you buy, sell, or stay out of this market? Everyone get involved, guys. Don't be shy. I can also give my voice a rest. You've probably had enough of my voice, so I can drink neat vodka. Yes, Lee. The Fed interest rate decision might knock oil out of this range. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it would just be fascinating to see what the Fed does for these markets, especially after the US election. Will indices fall? Right, they might off the back of this Fed. Yeah, will the dollar get strength or weakness? Yeah, will it affect commodities like oil and gold? Right, it's going to be a really, it's such an interesting Fed interest rate decision because it's literally after Trump. Right, we have got Rich Paul would sell, Brett would sell, Ravi would sell, half risk, Godwin would sell, man with no name, I was about to come up with something quite mental then as again, would sell, Colin would stay out, Michael would sell, Michael Mulwa would stay out. All right, so not that split actually. Most people would stay out. Most people would sell. I get that. Yeah, I get that. And yeah, I'm just trying to think this is not as clear cut, right? Because we are in this downtrend, right? Clearly lower highs, yeah, lower lows. We're clearly in a downtrend. So yes, and I'm in an R-ing, guys, because it isn't clear what I should do here. So I'm just going to take my time, right? So it's in a downtrend. Okay, just deal with facts. It's at an important level of resistance. Okay, it is. Yeah. And, as I suggested, it could become a bit of a range, right? So that would all suggest selling, right? Sell from here back down to here. But there is another variant that you must look at, and that variant is the candlesticks, right? Now, this candlestick here, some people would consider that a reversal candle and price come down. I wouldn't, because of this bottom wick. That tells me, this bottom wick tells me that sellers pushed it down to here and buyers just pretty much immediately pushed it back up. So I would be inclined to stay out of this market. I would. It's a close one to call between sell or stay out. And if it's that close to call, and to be honest with you, as soon as I start doing this with a chart, as soon as I start going, I'm like, right, Tom, next chart, right? You shouldn't be doing that. You should be like, right, that's a downtrend. That's a nice piece of resistance. There's a nice wick. Yeah, sell it, right? It shouldn't take that long. And this has taken too long. So I would stay out of this market. But in future, guys, what I would like to see, I would be very keen on buying oil if we got a break of this level. We get a break of this, yeah, because we know this is key weekly support. If we actually got a break of this level, right, and a daily uptrend, I'd be very keen on buying oil back up to here. Right. And you've got to also think, oil, unfortunately, will do well under Trump. Right. Like I said, lots of things are going to be manufactured and made. They need fossil fuels. They need oil, pulling stuff out of the ground. Right. They're all going to need fuel. Right. And when economies are booming, yeah, we'll wait to see if the economy does boom. But you can't help but think that oil will pick up on the back of that as well. So that's how I would be looking to trade oil. Break of that, and not even from a fundamental point of view, but just, like a break of this level, retrace, start buying oil. All right, guys, yeah. And okay, Lee James, historically, after the election, if the S&P daily candle closes bullish or bearish, that is indicative of a run in either one of those directions. Okay, so we are in for a bull run. Yeah, look at the S&P. That is bullish. Okay, so yeah, that can only boost the oil as well, I would suggest. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button if you've enjoyed the analysis in today's vid. Please check out the 25% off any funded challenge right now. We've also got free access to the VIP Trading Academy if you sign up with one of our preferred brokers. Check it out, and I will see you next time, guys. Adios.